with this. Preparing to live stream the meeting. Oh my. So let's okay. Let's see if folks can hear us. Hey
What's
guys,
up, everyone?
what's up? Can you guys hear us on the chat here? Can you type that you can hear us? Let us know, folks. Let's go. Because this is the first time I'm trying to stream through the Zoom. So let us know in the hey. Awesome. Amazing. Crystal clear audio. Great. Awesome. That's the way. All right. All right. So let me just one second here. Update the. Okay, I think everything is fine. Let's go. All right, man. So how are you doing?
Good, man. How are you doing? I'm a little tired. I'm sure you are too. Working hard. But yeah, I'm doing well. I'm excited. Market seems fun right now.
For sure, man. It's exciting. And I'm excited for today because a lot of people actually have been asking me about this. And so tell us about this this indicator a little bit. And I know you all, I mean, so folks who are new, I will link this in my description. It's atrlevels.com. There's the website here, and there is an introduction video going over the settings of the indicator, and it's available on Thinkorswim and TradingView both. I use TradingView, so I'll go over that later. And Saty uses Thinkorswim, so you guys can kind of see how to use them in kind of both platforms. And on top of that, today I think for me is more about trade management, how to enter, where to exit, what to know, the kinks of the indicator and stuff like that. So super excited. And any questions you guys have, you can ask me on the YouTube chat, or you can ask me on the Discord. We have a thread for this, so don't hesitate. Looking forward to the questions at the end. So without further ado, I'll leave it up to you. Let's start with the basics first. Just a quick 2-minute introduction to the folks who are new to this indicator, and what does it do?
Yeah, so let's start with kind of a high level overview of it. And so what ATR levels does is using some technical analysis on ATR and fib levels, it effectively calculates 7 levels for you on various time frames. You can use it on any time frame, and it can be used for day, swing, or position trading. And it gives you those levels on your chart. And some of those levels include triggers for going long and going short. And so it kind of provides a map for how to execute trades, or it can provide a map if you want to use it that way. And kind of thinking about the impetus of why I sort of started to iterate on this indicator and go down this path and kind of get it to the point where it is today. Taking trades is hard. I mean, entering trades is hard. Exiting trades is hard. Trading is hard. It's a very difficult thing. I think a lot of people see, you guys see Drippy's gains, 100%, 1,000%, 2,000%. That's not easy. I mean, he's one of the best, and so it's really hard to do that. It's really hard to do that if you're just starting out. So if you guys are struggling out there, this is really for you. This is why I built this. This is why I spent so much time, till 4 a.m. trying to build something like this. It's to kind of help folks have something sort of an advantage to be able to enter and exit trades. And that's really it. It's levels. There's a lot of folks out there that have used ATR in the past, that have used fib levels in the past, that have used trigger levels in the past, and still use them today really effectively. And that's awesome. So it's based on a lot of the work that many, many people have done before me, and discussions I've had with you, Drippy, discussions I've had with the other mods, discussions I've had with folks in our Discord. I mean, there's a lot of people that were involved in helping me get it to the point where it is today. But really, the ultimate goal of this is to make trading a little bit more fun, a little bit more easy, hopefully reduce the FOMO, hopefully reduce people's inability to hold trades, or when they try to cut them too short, maybe to eliminate that, and maybe eliminate a little bit of the anxiety that goes on with trades. That's really the goal here. So it's an indicator that provides you levels, and you can use them with price, volume, and trend analysis to create a system.
Perfect, man. That's awesome. Yeah, as you said, trading is not easy, and sometimes people just don't know like how to enter. I think the biggest challenge for a new trader is to know when to enter, because levels differ for a lot of people. So everyone needs to have their own system in place. I have my own, and I'm looking forward to this one. So how about we switch to Think or Swim, and
Sure.
let's talk about the different like the how do you use it, how do you combine with, I see here you have the Ripster EMA cloud. I also use it, I'm a big fan of it, so I'm looking forward to kind of like seeing how you use it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think it's really important to have some sort of trend system, and that can be Ripster clouds. You can use a 921, you can use 50, 100, 200, 10, 20, 50, whatever system you guys use to determine trend. I think that's really important in order to effectively take trades. I like the Ripster clouds; they're great. Drippy, you like them too. Those are freely available on all platforms. And so that's definitely a key component of this. I think you can't use these levels in isolation. You really have to understand, basic price, volume, and trend analysis in order to make these most effective. But what you were talking about, Drip, entering trades. What I've noticed, talking with people for many months now, often they get stopped out really quickly, and usually that's because of their entry point, right? They're typically entering either too late, or something's happening where they're getting an entry that's just not great. And so I think that's where this can kind of help. And I'll use Raytheon today. This is today's price action from Raytheon as kind of an example of how you could enter a really interesting trade and kind of go long on Raytheon. I didn't catch this one, but I wish I had. It's a really nice one. So this is 10-minute 10-minute chart. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
No
So
problem.
you use 10-minute chart, and even at the open, like you always have 10-minute chart open. I'm for intraday.
Yeah, I typically will jump into the 10-minute chart. So this is just based off, I studied a lot of what Ripster did. And since I'm a fan of his clouds, I kind of tried to imbibe as much information from how he uses them as possible, and kind of ape how he did it. So yeah, I typically wait the first 10 minutes. Like I generally don't enter trades in the first 10 minutes. And so I'll sit on the 10-minute, and if the price action's moving quickly, I have these sort of I think they're called styles in Thinkorswim, but you can switch between various styles. So my 3-minute is my Zoom, my live is my 10-minute. I have an hourly, daily, weekly, and a monthly, and they have various different indicators on them. So for instance, this 3-minute has VWAP on it. So if something's happening and something's moving, and I feel interested in taking a trade, I might jump into my Zoom, which is like a 3-minute. I know some folks use the 5-minute or 1-minute or whatever. You can really use whatever you want, but the 3-minute is what I've been using recently to kind of jump into trades. But yeah, the 10-minute is kind of where I start. I like the Ripster has a rule. He calls it his golden rule of trend. And it's worked pretty well for me. I've had good results with it, where basically, let's go back to the 10-minute real quick. I'll zoom in here. Basically, if the stock is above 34, sorry, the price is above 34.50 EMA, it's
Hmm.
bullish, and if it's below, it's bearish. And I have these trend labels that effectively do that on every time frame. It's just telling you whether it's above or below
Perfect.
those EMA clouds. Yeah,
Makes sense. So so this is basically like on from short to longer time frames, all of them are trending up. This gives you kind of confidence that this stock is actually bullish, and then using
exactly.
that as a pretext, as a context for your trade, because oftentimes you don't know, you kind of hesitate, that, oh, if I go long, what if it comes down, and
Exactly.
this gives you kind of the idea that, okay, well, I know that the trend is bullish, right? And now where do I enter, right? Where do I enter this trade? So let's look at this trade. For example, first thing I see is on the first 10-minute chart candle here, you see this wicked off here, the
Yep.
first one, right? So what's going on in your mind? Like, do you just enter as soon as it breaks, or are you waiting for a close above it? Try to guide us through this. Like,
Yeah. So, if I'm interested in taking this trade, so this wick off, I'm obviously sellers are coming in and they're pushing the price action down, and then you see this red candle that pushes it below the call trigger. But it's interesting. So maybe I jump into the zoom. Let's say I go into the 3 minute, see the trend. You talked about the trends all going up on a multiple time frames. So that's giving me confidence that this could be a really interesting long trade. Also the macro, like you're a huge fan of macro and you're so good at it, and I'm learning a ton about that from you. But obviously the macro conditions, we've got the unfortunate war in Ukraine, and so it's a military stock, and
mhm,
so it's likely that it's probably going to move upwards. So if I zoom in now on the 3 minute, I can see a little more detail around the price action. It's diving below this call trigger, which is at what, about $98, and then it comes back. It tests the 21 EMA on the 3 minute and bounces back up. And so I think at this point, if you start to see these two green candles confirming, this is a confirmation candle right here, you can then see, hey, maybe I'll take an entry on the retest of the 9 EMA. And so this
so
would be my entry point if I were to get into this trade right here,
I
personally,
see. So you are switching back to a lower time frame, or
for
you're
entry.
sticking to 10 prime. Oh, okay. So for
Yep.
entries, so guide us through the process. So when the market opens, you are watching the 10-minute chart. Is that correct?
Yep.
And then once like how many minutes pass, let's say you see this first candle here, and of course, when you actually play it in the recap of this, right, when you're playing this, you'll see that you could have entered that by mistake,
Sure.
because the 10-minute chart would still be forming, the candles would still be in formation, right?
Yep.
So let's say that, so do you usually wait for first 10 minutes, 15 minutes to enter?
Yeah, I mean, we could even stay on this 10 minutes. So yeah, I typically don't enter trades. I mean, I've done that in the past and it's usually burned me. So I don't,
Hmm.
I wait at least 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes before I enter a trade. So if we were just
Gotcha.
staying, like, even if we stayed for 20 minutes on this chart, you could see, it gets wicked off, it comes down, and then it tests the 9 EMA on the 10-minute chart and then bounces back. And that's bullish, right? That's
Hmm.
good. It's
Right.
bouncing back. You're getting some confirmation. So maybe at this point you say, okay, this is interesting. Let me check out. Let me kind of zoom in and see if there's a potential entry point as it crosses this put trigger the second time. Sorry, this call trigger the second time. Right. So maybe
Gotcha.
then at that point you can zoom in and you're seeing kind of this price action here where it's crossing the call trigger, and then you can get a nice, beautiful entry on the 9 EMA on the 3 minute. And then at this point, I mean, it just takes off. It's a beautiful trade. If you get in right here, there's a nice sort of you're testing the VWAP, you're hitting the 9 EMA, and
Hmm.
then you get this beautiful move to the 61.8 fib, and then all the way to 1 ATR. And this is kind of the cool thing about this indicator is that most trades are not going to go more than 1 ATR, and this is a perfect example of that. The meat
Hmm.
of the move is right here. It's right here, and you can leave runners. Maybe you take a little profit here at this area right here, and then you leave some of your position, and you take profit at 1 ATR. Maybe you leave a little more and you have like a trailing stop, or you leave your stop down here. and you can get a little bit more meat. But look at this, it goes to one ATR and it kind of goes up a little bit, bounces back down off this level, goes up a little bit, bounces back down, and then it sort of just
Fades
consolidates
away.
for the rest of the day. Yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
mean, so you basically enter at the low risk entry here, and then you
Yeah,
go all the way to 180R. You're done for the day, one trade a day.
exactly. Yeah.
And I mean, like, how much time this took, from maybe 25 minutes max.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And you were in the trade all this time. It never broke below this. What's this? Green one is the 9 EMA,
This green one's the 512, and that little white
512.
line between is the 9. Yeah, exactly. Just staying on top of the 512 all the way to 1 ATR.
Gotcha. And then
So,
that's where you can just get out. I think
exactly.
that's awesome, man. Yeah, I think so. So for me, I think the key lessons here is to first wait for confirmation. I think,
Hmm.
Saty uses 10-minute chart, but if you're entering these trades, first, especially first 30 minutes of the market, things are super, super, the momentum is more. So I tend to go to a lower time frame, which is like 5-minute or 3-minute chart. And what I do is, I ideally I would like it to see kind of the candle close above it, and
Yep.
I try not to enter first 15 minutes because you can get burned. And as you said, right, because sure, you can miss the trade, some trades, for example, if you look at AA today, for example, if you can go to the chart for
Sure.
AA, just to give an example. Now look at this, what a beast move on this one, right?
Yeah,
So, I
man.
mean, where is the blue line? It's like way below, I guess, because
It's got to be down here
yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
Yep.
So it's
It
already
gapped up
pre-market
above it.
above, right? So
Yeah.
in these kind of trades, I mean, but look at this indicators. Like, look how where it found the support,
Yep.
when it on the plus 180R, right?
Exactly.
So it
Yep.
found the support. So these levels, that's my next segue, yeah, for this conversation is that so I use supply demand and previous resistance levels as
Yep.
my exit targets, or scale in scale out targets.
Hmm.
So I see that you don't really have that. So do you just rely on these targets?
So I have been recently. In the past, my trading style was much more, manually drawing out key levels. But recently, I've been just trying to rely on the indicator to see how well I can do with just the ATR levels. And so far, it's been pretty good. Like I wouldn't get into this trade probably. I mean, it's a great trade. You can definitely take a beautiful trade on this. There's no doubt.
Right.
There's tons of meat, tons of juice in this move. But looking at this indicator, I probably wouldn't enter this trade. This is probably something that I just kind of stay out of,
Right,
and that's
because it's
okay. Right?
extended. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, it's
because it
extended, so
will
I don't know
work
what's
in
going to
this
happen.
case. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say that if it works in this case because it's a strong name and it's the macro is in favor for this, but it won't really work in a lot of cases. It might fail. So he's
That's right.
right.
Yeah.
Like your risk reward is not there, so you need to
Exactly.
enter like as close to the blue line as possible, right? For intraday trades. So
Yeah,
you
that's
get a
ideal.
great,
Yep.
right. That would be awesome, right? So do you usually just get out at 180R, or do you wait or scale out? Like, how do you manage the trade once you enter? How do you choose the strike price? Do you go? Is your strike price the 180R?
Yeah, I mean, so there's a number of ways you can do it. It depends on the momentum of the stock, but often I will just pick the mid fib as my strike price. So in this case,
Mm-hmm.
taking 100, if you're going to, let's say, do a weekly, you could just do 100 um, uh, strike, and that would be um, decent win there. I mean, there's a number of ways you can do it. You can also do it based off of and you should manage it based off of your risk, of course. But typically, what I'm doing is just picking sort of the mid fib or the one ATR, depending on how good I feel about the stock and how comfortable I am with the stock. One of the things I've done recently is trade more of kind of the same stocks over and over. Apple, Tesla. I love mega caps, so that's kind of my jam. Apple, AMD, Tesla, Nvidia, stocks like that I feel really comfortable with. And so, yeah, I mean, that's just sort of what I've been doing recently, because I feel like you're going to be able to get to this mid fib pretty quickly. in most cases, especially if you have momentum like this.
Gotcha. So one of the questions from the audience here on the members is that how many tickers are you watching and how do you know which one has the perfect setup? And I think it's a valid question because,
Yeah.
you might have blue stocks crossing this blue line, thousands of them. So what is your recommendation?
Yeah, let's just go through a bunch of tickers just really quick, and I can show you kind of what you can see going on if you're just scanning. So let me just go back to the 10-minute. There's a lot of good examples from today. Let's just look at SPY. Oops. So like, this thing's sort of chopping all day. And this is what choppy price action looks throughout the day when you're looking at these ATR levels against stocks. I mean, here's another one, AMD. I think a bunch of people took trades today and they got shaken out of AMD. Some people took trades and actually took, I think one person in the Discord took three trades on AMD up and down against these levels, and all were wins. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
But
I've
like,
heard
this is
AMD
choppy.
is working a lot for folks, especially in
AMD's
this
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a perfect stock for this. Apple, same thing. Like, it's just sort of bounces around. I mean, this is the sort of visual nature of this indicator. You can see chop. It literally shows you what chop looks like. It's not a directional move up or down like we saw with RTX. And so that's kind of what I'm looking for. Like, it's testing this. This is Apple today, and of course, a bunch of us were in swing positions in Apple and still holding some swing positions.
Mhm.
But like, it hits this, and then it sort of just gets rejected at the call trigger, and then it goes almost down to the put trigger, and then it comes back up. This probably faked some folks out, maybe.
Yeah.
And so it's just sort of bouncing here. So I see this a lot. This was one of the things I noticed a ton over the last month or so. It just, you can kind of detect chop. You can kind of see it happening before your eyes. Q's the same thing, choppy but more on the downside. I think some folks took puts today and got sort of shaken out in some of these jumps on Qs. So I think this
Mhm.
can kind of help alleviate that a little bit as well.
So, question on that. So, if it gets rejected at the call trigger, can we buy puts?
Sure. They're just levels. I mean, ultimately, you definitely can just use them as levels, just as support and resistance. So, you can buy. It's crashing through this center sort of pivot, which is the previous close. I mean, you can certainly buy puts right here. It's a confluence of a level, EMAs dropping through the EMAs. You could definitely buy puts and then sell them maybe when you get to the put trigger or leave some runners. And then
Gotcha.
when it comes back up, you could definitely try to buy calls at the put trigger and move up. So ultimately, they just act as support and resistance like any other level that you might plot based off of key price action that you're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is the definition of a chop here. So, I think my
Yeah.
recommendation would be that keep your stocks maybe to 4 or 5. If you're starting, pick the highest conviction stocks and then watch them, flip them over for, I mean, first 10 minutes you're not entering any trade, right? So flip them over, see which one is a good risk reward, which one is trending. You can get an idea. I think there are 2 or 3 kinds of trades. I think at the open is like either fade after 15 minutes, or it's
Mm-hmm.
continues or consolidates after 15 minutes, or it's just a continuation, just straight ripper. And what you want to enter is the one which is consolidating after the level is met. So that's probably the best opportunity, which is above these EMAs. You can manage your stops. So my next question is, how do you manage these stops in this case? Like, is it like, I know we are still talking about the intraday trades
Yeah.
here, so
Yep.
how would you manage your stop?
So one thing I really love to do is set limit sell. So let's say I enter this trade. Let me go back into the Zoom. This is RTX. Let's say I entered the trade here. I would set limit sells here, and I would set limit sells here, and I put a stop right here at the call trigger. And then once I've sold here and it moves through this mid level, I would move the stop here, right? And if I
Mhm.
wanted to take it further, I would just leave a trailing stop after it went through one ATR. So that's effectively how I manage it. So what's nice is I think we took a wall. You called out Walmart. I don't know how many weeks ago it was, but maybe a week or two ago. It was an amazing trade, and I literally set limit sells at the mid fib and the one ATR. I looked away at charts for like 3 minutes, and then it had sold, and so it was really awesome. And then I had stops down at the call trigger, which is just below where I'd entered, and then of course I had gone back to look at the chart to move my stops up in the event that had become profitable, which is a suggestion that you've made. As soon as it becomes profitable and you're kind of out of that entry point area, you move your stops to the entry. So basically, there's no way you can lose the trade. But by the
Mm,
time I had come back in, the trade had executed. I had sold off here, I had sold off some here,
mm.
and it was a perfect trade in like 15 minutes. So that's my favorite thing to do is set bracket orders where I'm effectively setting limit sells here and here, and then putting stops down here, just below the entry, and then I move that stop throughout the trade.
Gotcha. So I see. So is there any other indicator you use for entry? Or is there anything else you use for entry and exit? For example, you talked about the Ripster EMA cloud
Yep.
confirmation candles, and then of course the blue line for calls and yellow lines below yellow puts, above blue calls. So do you use anything else? I see that you have a couple indicators on the bottom. Are you using them at all?
These I typically use more for swing trades, so I can kind of
Mhm.
go over how I do that when we jump into the swing trades. But typically for day trades, it's just price action and trend, and then levels. That's really where I'm doing most of my work. And so yeah, to answer your question, right? If I were holding on to this trade, let's say I had runners and maybe I kept a lower stop here. If I see it drop through here, I might start to think, okay, I'll take some more profit. Um, it's gone through this 512 EMA. Maybe it might go down further. And so I don't necessarily want to lose out on whatever I have left in that trade. So yeah, I mean, I use basically just EMA clouds and then levels. That's really where I'm at right now.
Gotcha. So now another question I have is like, I know that this indicator has one cool feature, which is, I can use the current close to guess, not guess actually, to know what
Yep.
will be the entry trigger for tomorrow call and put, right?
Yep.
Next day. So,
Yep.
so do you set alerts for these levels on Thinkorswim?
I do sometimes. I haven't been using that as much. I've been really just cycling through, a handful of mega caps that I really like trading.
Mm,
AMD, Apple, things like that. And so, not really. I kind of just look at the price action in the morning pre-market and kind of determine, hey, which is the stock that looks interesting to me based on pre-market action, based on the flow of the prior day, and then keep it pretty tight. But that's something that I think needs to be the next step. It's you and I have talked about this. We need to build some sort of scanner, something that can kind of alert when a good possible trade on the levels comes up, and so that's sort of the next step. But yeah, right now, no, just scanning pre-market and getting ideas for which trades I want to do. And this is the beauty of it. There have been trades that happen later in the day, and they also go full ATR. So this is the thing. I also want to just make a point to everybody who's listening, or watching. You don't have to jump in at the beginning of the day. There's trades throughout the day on various different tickers where you can still get a huge move. And so I worry a lot about folks having FOMO. I talked about it and also in my video, the overview video. People just want to jump into the trade in the very beginning. There's so many people who have lost so much money just jumping in on the opening candle. And
yep.
there's so many opportunities throughout the day. I mean, Drippy, I don't know how many you call a day, but it's pretty incredible.
I mean, like
There's
for me
so many.
personally, you're right. I think, I mean, like most of my, high, uh, you know, percentage runners are usually after 11. So
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
don't have to get into the trade immediately. Sure, you'll miss some, but there'll be some which there'll be opportunities in the market. There's always opportunity in the market.
Exactly.
And so what you miss tomorrow is another day. Like it's not like every day you'll make 1,000%. That's not gonna happen. It's if I made 1,000% on every trade, I'll be a multi-billionaire, but I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly. I mean, let me like hammer that point home with this stock, which actually you talked to me about. I don't
oh
know how many
man,
weeks ago. Yeah, we missed
this
this one.
I missed this one. The wounds are still
The
fresh.
wounds are there. So,
I
like,
mean, why
so,
don't you show people the daily chart when I told you guys like what am I looking at the
oh
daily
my
chart,
god. Yeah,
man?
let's look at that real quick. I
Look
mean,
at
it's
this.
just
200, yeah,
uh
right
just
there. I told
just
you guys at
sorry.
200 that star is about to break out.
Boom.
And look at this, went to almost $100, $100 move, 50% move on this name, and
Just
I didn't
nuts.
trade it.
Just
I
nuts.
suck, man. Yeah, but anyway, go ahead.
No, you definitely don't suck. I think we should have all been on that one. But yeah, it's
You know the
I just
reason
want
why I didn't enter this trade was spread was like wider than
oh
I
right,
don't.
right, right, right.
Yeah, I talked
Wouldn't
about
have
this on
mattered
Space.
actually.
Damn, man, like that spread, it doesn't matter. Those contracts were up 8,000%.
uh yeah, I know. That would have been a heck of a trade.
Yeah, man.
And swing mode didn't exist then, so we couldn't have used it then, so it didn't matter. But I mean, you saw that before anybody. That was amazing. But to sort of hammer your point in about opportunities existing every day and all times of day. I mean, let's just look at Avis over the last 3 days, and I talk about this one in the video as well from last Friday and Thursday. But take a look. You could take puts on this one. You could have had a nice move down to this mid fib, maybe even a little more juice. And then if you look back on Friday, you could have taken puts, so many times, so many areas where you could have entered on this one, like so many places you could have gotten this one. And you could have gotten full ATR on this on the way down. If you go back now one more day, you can enter. You probably wouldn't enter here because there's no confirmation, but you could have waited till the end of the day and boom, full ATR. What time is this? It's
Oh
after
yeah, this is
lunch.
a perfect example. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
after lunch.
look at CNI as well. I think CNI, sorry, Allstate today. Look at all chart. You'll see the same thing. I'm sure. Yeah. So look, it was today's chart.
Exactly.
I
Yeah, I mean,
mean,
it just that's a huge move.
yeah, I mean, so I think today's chart, not today's. I think yesterday was a better example. Yeah. So look
There you
at
go.
this.
Yeah,
So I mean, look at this end of day. It all day was kind of consolidate. I mean, so all has been ripping through. So this was yesterday, and look at this. You could have entered the trade at the end of day and made bank on this one.
could have bought calls here
Yeah.
and made it's more than yeah.
I
It's
actually
it's
did
amazing.
buy calls there at the white line, the
Oh yeah,
131
oh,
line,
awesome.
right
Yeah,
there.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
So
perfect.
yeah, I mean I was swinging it. I mean we all were swinging right and the Discord
Exactly.
so yeah. I mean I feel like people, you don't have to chase every stock. So my next question
Yep.
is, can I trade this on indexes SPY QQQ?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, it's great. So
Yeah. Let's take a look at some spy examples. So this is chop, but here's a nice trade. If you wanted to buy at the put trigger and sell up here, you could have done that. A similar situation a couple days before that. Um, let's look at something more interesting. So here's one which went almost. I think I actually took this trade. Um,
mm,
this one, it starts below previous close and pre-market. It slowly works its way up. All
mm.
the EMAs line up beautifully before the market open. Let me zoom in for you guys. And I mean, if it's just yeah, it's a perfect trade. You can take this one. Maybe you exit here. If you're leaving a stop down here, you're willing to wait until it breaks the 3450 EMA. You have a beautiful trade all the way to one ATR.
Yeah, you can even sell at 180. I mean, this mid one, and then re-enter at
totally,
3450, and then ride it back up.
and that's just it, Drippy. I think you have this intuitively. I think just because you've been trading for a while and now you've mastered it. But everybody who's listening right now really needs to understand there are opportunities all times of day, every week, every month. There is no need to FOMO. There will be other opportunities for 100%, 200%, 500%, whatever it is. There's no need to like enter a trade just because you're afraid that you're going to miss out. You're not going to miss out. There's so many opportunities in the market. And
Yeah,
I really want to hammer that home because that's one of the most important things that I've seen with this indicator is I don't take as many trades and the ones that I'm taking are higher quality.
Mm. So before I move into the swing trading part, a couple questions. So do you use
Yeah,
technical patterns at all to figure out? So for example, in this case, I can see this is a clear flag breakout here. You have a clean flag, which
yeah,
broke out in this example. So do you use them at all, or um, uh,
absolutely.
you do? Okay.
I don't have it drawn here, but I mean, I think you and I discussed this one a while back. You
Yeah,
know,
this was Pfizer,
look
right?
at
Yeah.
look at
Again, another
that.
missed one, guys.
Yeah,
We talk about all these and never take it.
technical analysis, baby. Look at that beautiful line right down. It's just resistance, resistance, resistance. Breaks the resistance right at the swing, and boom. So yeah, absolutely, I use it. Sometimes I guess I don't need to mark up the charts as much as I used to because I can kind of
Mhm.
visualize it. But yeah, I mean, I will definitely draw. If I see something, I will draw it. You and I discussed FedEx, I think a month ago or
Oh
half a month
yeah,
ago. That
missed
was a
that
nice
one.
trade. Yeah, I missed that one too. Yeah, I did all the DD for it, and I know some folks took it in the Discord, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, I definitely use technical analysis. But
Yeah,
that's typically more. I use it more, I think, on swing trading and less on day trading,
I
and that may
agree.
be just because I'm used to swing trading more than I am with day.
Right. No, I mean patterns actually are more effective in my opinion on higher time frames because the breakouts are stronger. But I mean that's a topic for a different day. But so
Exactly.
looking through the spy one. So another question was like, do you have failed examples, and from that, do you have any learnings for us? Like, oh, this failed, and avoid this scenario. Like avoid this caveats for intraday.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing is to manage your risk and make sure you have stops in place. I think you can and wait for confirmation. I like to wait for confirmation. Some people don't. I don't, have any particular opinions on whether or not you should or not, but definitely waiting for confirmation above the triggers. I don't know if I have any examples of failed examples, but let me see if I can find one for you. Um,
Yeah, so I'm looking at this and I see
Look at
here,
this
yeah,
one right
this one,
here.
yeah, right here.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like you might think this is going up, and EMAs are. This is kind of an ugly trade. I don't think I would even take it in the first place because the
yeah, I mean,
3450 is not flipped. But let's say you took this, right?
well, let's
You
say
got
you took this.
confirmation above.
Yeah.
You start seeing these wicks now. It's dropping below. Like, I would probably get out of that. But
I
let's say
mean,
you
like,
stay in it. Yeah, go ahead.
so I would say that, if let's say you were to enter this kind of trade, right?
Yeah,
You will still make money on this trade. Let's say you
sure.
entered at the blue line, right? For example, and you were holding this until this, you see this big green bar, right? All the way, this is a 1.5 move, $1.5 move on SPY in one candle, right?
Yep.
And then next thing you see here, this is this candle kind of like more than half here. This is probably where I'll start to get out because I know
Scale
there's
out.
a sell-off. Yeah, because the volume here, you can see that, it's more than normal on the sell-off, right? And then also this is the reason why me personally, I like to know the key supply demand zones because
Yep.
425 in this day on this day was a supply area, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I try to combine them together as well. But I mean, that maybe
That's smart.
yeah, maybe that will help some people identify that, oh, maybe it's too extended. You have to think about everything in context of what happened the last couple of days. If SPY is already up 2 ATR on the week and you're trying to buy the calls on the blue line up,
You're in
that this is
trouble.
extended. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to keep all those things in mind, keep the context in mind. This is important for day trading.
Zoom
uh,
out. Definitely zoom
zoom
out.
out
Yeah.
last couple of days, see what's happening. Look at SPY chart. I mean, we knew about this, what's going to happen today. I mean, Tesla, we took the Tesla swing. It got rejected right at 940 area because that was a clean supply area, took profit there, right?
Yeah.
and,
Oh,
and
Tesla's. Yeah. Actually, that's a perfect example
yeah.
of a supply. Look at this right here.
Yeah. So I mean, I
It's
drew
a
this
huge
chart
supply
shared
zone.
earlier that
Yep.
925, above 925, it's going to like probably like to retest 945, 950. That's what happened. Supply came through and then we got rejected. I mean, look at Tesla. It's been up from 750 almost to 920. What do you expect? Keep
Yeah.
going up? It doesn't happen that
No
way.
way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, even
I
if
mean, it's
you're
probably going to come back down. It's probably going to bounce a little bit, maybe consolidate a little bit, and then before
right.
it's going to make a move up or down. Yeah.
Right. So another thing which I want to bring out is some people is asking me like, well, then how do you know like you get faked out or not? Well, by this, you need to know how extended the stock is from last couple of days. Where is it on the daily time frame with respect to the 921 EMA? Where is it? Where is the market heading towards? And this contextual information you need to add for your trade. This is what is called a conviction based trading, I call it, and this is my style.
Yep.
So you need to keep that in mind. So segueing into swing trades now, how do I use this for swing trades, and what is the difference between the intraday and swing mode?
So the concept is still the same. It's the same 7 levels that you get. It's just based off of a different time period, effectively. So the swing mode is based off of a monthly ATR, and the position mode is based off of a quarterly ATR to give you a little bit more of a range to deal with. So here's NVIDIA, right? I mean, this thing's just ready to blast off. But effectively the same concept, right? EMAs are starting to cross over each other. It crosses the call trigger, and you probably could have gone long here. This was Friday's trade, which I think was a perfect trade. If we actually zoom into the intraday, like if you were actually trying to enter that trade, this is what that one looks like, and it's
Oh
just
my, look at this one.
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
It's like my favorite trade ever.
Juicy, man. I would not have entered this. I'm not a chaser. So I
Yeah,
would I don't personally like Nvidia. Nvidia moves so fast, man.
I mean, there were opportunities to get in. I think you could have. This is a tough one to get in. This is just a pure momentum play. You just gotta,
Yeah,
send it. So
I
this
think
is a
this is
tough
the
one.
one. If you are swinging it, you are golden.
Exactly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would say for most folks, this is probably not one you want to try to get in. There are many situations that you'll see, and if you just go look in the past, you'll see there's tons of situations in NVIDIA where you're going to get faked out, and it's not going to feel good. So, but it's beautiful. I mean, look at that. Just that you
Yeah.
just send it and take a break after that. Take a nap.
Yeah,
And this is a
man. This
nice
is
example too. Look, it's just
amazing.
bouncing off of one ATR, just sitting
Yeah.
there and doesn't do anything. So this is, a lot of people stay in trades. They're like, oh, it's going to keep going up, right? Look at this big momentum move in the first, hour of the day, less than an hour. If you hold on, I mean, you're just burning premium.
Mhm.
There's really no point in holding on after this point.
Mhm.
Even if it goes a little bit higher, like it did,
Yeah.
that is nothing. That's worth not worth the time.
I mean, to think about it this way, I mean, it already moved what minus 180. I mean, if you think about it logically, it moved from put trigger all the way to 180, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So
So it's
1.236. Yeah.
oh yeah, so that's almost 1.5 ATR move in first 25, 30 minutes. What
Yeah.
10
So
o'clock? Yeah, it's insane move. Um, yeah,
exactly.
this is an example of a chart I will not trade. I will swing. Yeah. The same as Tesla today morning, right? It's the same thing as Tesla today morning. Nobody, I think, would like to chase this. Look at this. I mean, if you were not swinging this, will you enter this trade? I
Well,
mean, I
I
was
was swinging
personally
it because I've got Drippy in my corner. So I actually exited right around. I exited some here, and then
right.
I
I
took.
exited right there when it 937.5. I'm like, I'm out. I
I'm
saw
out.
this candle. I saw this wick here. I'm like, that's it. This was my
Done.
trigger anyway. 940 was my supply area. And
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, like, and also another thing to notice here that's real quick, right? Like if you are swinging something, right, and you see that first 10 minutes, you could have paper handed and sold here because it was like at 907, right? But this
Yep.
is where these levels come in play, right? You could wait a little bit until 905. This was where we kind of added the trade anyway yesterday.
Yep.
So it never touched that area, right? And then it ripped through. Super risky trade if you enter in the morning, but if you are already in the trade, great.
Yeah. I mean, it was perfect. I think I bought at the end of the day. I sort of re upped on my calls from Friday. I just, I saw this dip. burning
Yeah, right,
premium.
exactly there. Yeah, they were
And, you know,
burning the premiums. Yeah.
I just got some calls here. I was like, all right, I'm going to overnight or over the weekend the calls. And literally, I think I bought them at 359 or something like that,
Yeah.
or 358. And then it's, literally a 15-minute trade.
Dude, it was amazing. I saw it. I'm like,
Amazing.
damn, I think
100%.
I should stop now, because I was like, Apple was also ripping, and I was like, damn, yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, it was amazing. So for me
Yeah.
personally, um, the way I use this indicator is that I would go to the swing mode, and I'm looking at some charts which are about to break
You want me
out.
to switch to your screen, Drip?
Yeah, let me see. Let me try to switch it here so I can share my screen. One sec. All right, so let's look at my screen here, right? So the way I trade this, or way I use this one is, I'll first enable this to swing mode. So, oh wait, I need to refresh. I think this is the old version. All right, so let's try now. Where's the swing mode gone?
I don't know.
Let me try to add it again. I think it's just yeah, there we go.
Weird.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was just a
Caching issue or something.
trading view, man. I think Safari and trading view have some issues. Mac. Well, I still don't see it. The swing. Where did it go?
Yeah, weird. You had it for a second. I saw it there.
Yeah, it's weird. Let me just try to open a new window here. Yeah, I mean, I was testing it before and I saw it. I'm like, what happened here? Let me just try to change the chart here one sec, just to kind of confirm. Odd, so odd.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's odd because it's on the cloud, so it it ideally should be able to should not be have that issue. Uh, let me try this way. Yeah, so this is the indicator, by the way, folks.
Oh, by the way, look at that. Look at that spy trade right there. That's actually one I took from you. That was your trade.
Which one? Where?
This
This
spy
right
trade, right?
here?
The one you're looking at. Yeah.
Oh wow, the blue
Full
line.
ATR spy trade. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the trending trade, right? I mean, you can see it clearly that, I mean, it kind of broke out of this flag above
Yep.
this blue line. This perfect setup, above this EMA, break above the flag, and then, break and retest of this. Damn, this would have been a perfect entry right here to ride this all the
It's
way up to the
it's
1
perfect.
ATR.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
took that. I think we all took that one in the Discord, or a bunch
yeah.
of us did. You called that one. Yeah, it's
I
good.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, but I don't know, man, why it's not working here. Uh, Weird.
Try hitting settings again. Oh, settings won't even pop up.
Yeah,
Weird.
that's why this is like super, super weird.
Oh,
What's
well, now
going
you guys
on?
all know why this is beta still because of Trading View.
Yeah, god damn. Every time when you try to
Oh
show
my
something,
god.
it doesn't work, right? Of course.
Yeah.
So,
Demo
um,
gods.
yep. So I mean, like it. Anyway, so let me try something else. Let me do this thing. What if I
Try switching. What is it called?
the templates?
Yeah, template. Yeah, that's it. Try
That's
switching
what I
template.
was trying to do. I just have a clean template here. There's nothing. I'll add indicator here. Let's hope this works. Oh my. Yeah, this is something issue with the Safari and Trading View had to. Of course, every time you're trying to demo, you will have this issue. I wonder if it's because of the live stream.
Yeah, probably because they're like, we don't want you to have success.
Yeah, I wonder. So I don't want to waste a lot of time, folks. So what I'm gonna do is kind of ask Saty to. Oh my, what am I doing? I just completely lost it, man. Okay. Oh yeah, here we
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
Voila.
Nice.
So here, so I put it this to swing mode, and a quick thing about this: we use current close. Don't use it in swing mode except the
Yep.
last day of the month. This is only for day trading mode right now. So here, so yeah, the way I think about it is this way. For example, let's look at all state. Right now, all has been a straight ripper. Uh, you know, since this area, which since we got in around this, I think we got around the 127 break, right? But if I hide everything, all my drawings here, and this is in swing mode. So now look at this. So let me just hide all the indicators, and let me just show you one thing real quick. Now look at this chart. Clean bull flag, right? This is a bull flag on a
Beautiful.
higher
Yeah.
time frame. On a higher time frame, look at the weekly chart. It was in this was the bull flag. So in my mind, I'm looking at, okay, well, what, I mean, of course, break of this level would be the trigger, right? It's a
Hmm.
no-brainer. But and I wanted confirmation on the swing trigger as well, just to see if this is a good ATR level and everything else.
Hmm.
And then look at this. It retested this area, and this is where we added. I mean, I added a little bit above on the breakout because, of course,
Yep.
I said, I want confirmation. And
Hmm.
next day it ripped, and then it ripped, and now look at this, it's at 180R, right? It's above it. So
Yeah, that was an amazing trade.
yeah, so I mean, this is what I look for. The same thing I showed on the Marvel trade. Look at MRVL. Let me just hide my drawings here. I'm sorry, I think I need to hide this, hide drawings. So yeah, look at this. Now it closed above it, and it's right around this area. So, but nothing is invalid right now because the stock is consolidating. It kind of, as I said, it's made a
Nice
big move
squeeze
up.
too.
Yeah, nice squeeze here, and Nvidia has an event coming up, and Marvel has low IV compared to Nvidia. So
Hmm.
so that's what I look for. Now another thing to notice is, like, for example, X. Look at this.
Oh man,
Yeah, this is the missed one again.
monster.
Monster move on this. I mean,
I
it
mean,
also
two.
broke and
Look
retest
back
here.
one swing level. The previous swing level. It even went through that one. The block before.
Which one?
So if you
Oh
go
yeah,
back,
right here.
yeah,
Yeah, look at this. Look at
it's
this.
just nuts.
From
Yeah,
here all the way to 180R, and then it comes here and retests this again next month. This was
yeah.
our swing entry which we missed. And I remember this day clear as a day because I was watching X, and for some reason I just didn't enter the trade. No idea why. And I still regret it because this was a great swing
Beautiful trade.
opportunity. And but look at this. I mean, for swing trades, you have more wiggle room. You have more, you have time to prepare in advance to see these levels, set alerts.
Hmm.
And another thing to keep in mind is that I'm combining the context here, that why is steel running, because commodities are hot. And look
Yep.
at this chart from if I hide, hide all here, and look at this chart from a monthly perspective, from a weekly perspective, from a daily perspective. Trend is up. All time frames, it's trending up.
Hmm.
So this information is there already, and now it's the question of where do I enter, and that was the entry which I missed. But of course, in the future, you guys have to think about it that way. Anyway, so yeah, so for swing trades and for day trades, different strategies. For swing trade, in my opinion, you have time to prepare. And in
Hmm.
my opinion, for swing trades, this level needs to close above the daily candle, or wick above the daily for confirmation, or a
Yep.
clean close above the candle. A candle above that would be ideal scenario for swing trading, in my opinion. Same thing on the lower time frames, right? We are looking for a clean close above on the 5-minute chart. So same thing on the swing trade as well. And that way you can avoid fake outs. Someone asked me, how can I avoid fake outs? So, and that can become your stop as well on the daily chart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and the swing mode also works really well with TTM squeeze. So I love how you put it, Drippy, because I really miss taking swings, and obviously now looking back, there was tons of opportunities to swing. both long and short, over the last 3 months. And ABBV, which you had called back in, I don't know, November, October, or something like
Oh
that.
my,
It's a
dude.
monster trade too.
Dude, I
Um,
don't even know why I was, I mean, look at this.
just
This was
so
the trigger.
amazing.
I mean, like this was 150. I mean, go back in time here. Let me jog my memory. So I think we entered ABBV around this break, right,
Yeah,
this
yep, that
118 break,
breakout right
right?
there.
Yeah,
Yep.
right there.
Hmm.
And I mean, we were happy about this breakout because we kind of closed around 135, you
Yep.
know and then it pulled back, and damn, man, this was the re-entry
Ripped
trigger
again.
again. Look at this.
Yeah.
This was the re-entry on the 4-hour daily chart. This right here, you could have entered again on this swing trade. And mama mia, look at this, just
I
keeps
mean, it's
going.
just, it gives forever. It's just a
it's
forever giving tree.
it's infinite loop, man, infinite loop.
Exactly.
But it just keeps going. Yeah, I mean, like the stock is extended right now, but um yeah, I mean, swing trading, this is why I mean, if I had 145 call for April, which I sold it when it was 135, thinking that's it. But if I held, these contracts would be up 20,000% or so. So yeah, it is what it is,
Uh,
man.
let's
But
not think about it anymore.
yeah, let's not think about it.
That's amazing. No, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so that's the thing, and so I think what I'm excited about is, there's opportunities to swing in any market condition, long or short. Obviously, you have to understand the macro. You have to be able to identify trades like this, which of course you do quite frequently. But like,
Mhm.
I'm excited because I love swinging. I prefer to swing trade over day trading. I don't mind day trading. I don't mind scalping. It's fine. But man, I mean, swing trading is just so chill. I swung some calls for Tesla based on what you called out on Friday.
Mhm.
15 minutes, take 100%. Like, I'm happy.
Mhm.
That's awesome, and that's just a one day. Something like this, keeps giving you cash over a couple months, which is exciting too. So I'm
Mhm.
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
More of that.
Yeah, man. Same, man. I mean, this is a learning experience for all of us. This is a strategy which uses ATR and FIB, and I am a huge proponent of using ATR levels as well, because I always talk about, like, my strike price is basically dependent on the ATR, because I'm
I
looking at
remember you
that.
mentioning it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm looking at that gamma curve, right? I'm thinking that, okay, if it goes in the money by that time on the 180R, I get that maximum juice on the option contract, right? And I get them
Yeah.
cheap, and then I get it for the maximum return. And now this is the stock which I'm looking. I know I promised that at the end I'll tell you guys about one breakout stock, and it's MP. Now look at this. It's Saty
Oh
ATR,
my.
where it is. This I'm not gonna miss, mate. I'm already in this one. But yeah, it's right at this that level, man. And the 180R
Looks
is
good.
sitting right here. I mean, 180R is sitting right here at
Oh,
$56, right? Which is also my fib extension around this area. So
yeah.
this is
Nice.
setting up to be a monster swing play. And uh I mean, the squad folks are already in, and it's still not late for me. I mean, I also have a second trigger here at 50.2 to kind of have a second confirmation to scale in my position once the move is in my favor. But um now you guys can monitor it yourself. Let's next time I live stream, I'll talk about this and see where it goes. But I'm confident in this. I'm confident in the indicator. I'm confident with the macroeconomic events, and combining all the factors, it's gonna boom boom, and we're gonna make a lot of money on this. So yeah, I'm excited, man, and really
Yeah, man.
grateful for your help on this, and helping everyone. And you could have kept it to yourself, but you shared. So thank you so much.
Of
And
course.
thanks
Yeah.
for
My
hopping
pleasure.
on, making videos. And let's keep doing this. We have a lot of things planned for this. It's not stopping here. Planning to integrate with like scanning and stuff like that. There's more to come. So check the website, atrlevel.levels.com, and Sati will keep it updated. I will keep you guys updated. And have a good rest of your day. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. And Any final questions? Now is the time. I have 5 minutes, 2 minutes more, because I gotta go play with my dogs. What is the ticker? No problem. NP.
Softball, easy one.
Any advice on setting alerts? Set the alerts on the key levels.
Yep.
Based on your back testing you took, can you name the best three stocks that follow the ATR? Well, in the Discord, I've seen a lot of people trade AMD successfully with it. I think I've heard Nvidia and what
In
else?
general, mega caps, it works really well with mega caps,
Yeah, I think
both on
Apple.
both on intraday and swing. Yep. Walmart,
Yeah.
Costco,
Oh yeah, Costco
those
was
two.
a great.
Yep.
Costco was also a swing play, by the way, which we took and banked on that one as well. Look at this. This was the
Exactly.
level,
Yeah. So good.
528, and my trigger was also actually higher than that. But damn, that paid too. Look, it went to 1 ATR, kind of got rejected from there. So this is where the supply demand comes in, right?
Yep.
565 was the supply area, and it rejected there. So you could have just taken profit here, and you'll be
Yeah,
fine.
there was a question in chat if this replaces support and resistance
No, it
and
doesn't.
supply and demand. No, it absolutely does not. Those are critical, very important things concepts to still keep in mind. Supply and demand, and then also key levels, key daily levels that you should still plot those. Those are still super important.
Yeah, I think, like if you want a sniper entry and exit, you need the supply demand. But if you're okay with kind of like getting the maximum juice without caring about max returns, then it's fine. You can,
Sure.
like, let's say you could have just gotten out here, right? And you
Yep.
didn't care about this 5 point move here, right?
Yep.
Th- That's what,
Exactly.
that's
Well
what,
put.
yeah. So less effort, you're putting less effort to consistently make money. That's the goal, right? You don't have to get maximum return on every trade. It's just
Exactly.
it's a ego based thing for traders, I think, and of course I am a victim of that too. But um yeah, that's the fun, right? I mean, but if you look at it from an objective perspective, it doesn't matter if you made 100% or 200%. It's all about winning trades.
Stack them.
Yeah.
Just got to
Yeah,
keep stacking
10
them.
100% trades much better than 1,000%, because you're putting
Exactly.
a big size on those, right? You're not putting lot of size on these trades because these are high confidence trades.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, back to that question that folks were asking. One of the things that I did was to sort of narrow my focus to effectively the S&P 100 and the Nasdaq 100. So I have those in a watch list, along with, of course, all the indices and the sector ETFs, gold, silver, things like that. But I have that's sort of my core, and I kind of look at those. And then if there's other things that come up from flow, I'll add those to the list if I trade them successfully. But yeah, mega caps work really well. All really well levels. Of course, any stock will work. Like I've even done back testing on AMC and GameStop, and it actually did call the moves before they went, which was crazy to see. So like it'll work on anything, but I prefer right now to trade the bigger caps, just because it seems more consistent.
Yeah, and also keep in mind you need to think about like how much the stock moves. So try to find stocks which have like good ATR, like 2-3%
Yeah.
ATR on the daily. Because if you like, let's say you try to trade, I don't know what's the uh what stocks don't move at all. Like just find some which have low ATR. They move. For example, this one, what's the name? Box. A lot of people asking me, oh, when it's gonna break out. I'm like, who knows, man? Look at this.
Someday.
Look at
I
this
mean,
daily chart on
it's
this one. Look
probably
at
100
this.
years.
It's
Maybe.
since the invention of the word box. This has been in a box.
Oh
So
man,
look at this. It's from last year March, 1 year. Uh,
that's
so
crazy.
if you try to trade this kind of stock on this, not gonna work because you get chopped up. So you need to
Yep.
know the stock. Yeah. Anyway, man, I think that's all. Have a good
Awesome.
night, everyone. And settings and all, it's all there on the atrlevels.com. Don't need to worry about that here. And all right. Love you all. Take care. Catch up later. How do I stop the stream now? I guess